So this will be a fun time kind of setting things up. It's the first time camping in here for me. And this thing is spot on identical to the one I had. Same year, same wallpaper, same linoleum. Mine didn't have an ashtray, but this is just kind of in here. It's not attached. But yeah, this is a pretty good little rig in fantastic shape, and I'll show you more about that. These seats are in amazing condition. Even the spot right here where the driver would climb in, that normally gets all crushed, but because they're getting in the other side. Now the windshield washers come out in rhythmic squirts. It's not constant like the modern impeller pumps, so that's a little bit to get used to. And one of the wipers is wonked over backwards, so it'll take some work. But it's not bad. There's no leaks. This cupboard up here by the top bunk has this beautiful amber plastic thing. Looks like where people would keep their liquor and paraphernalia. And you've got a board game in there. Mastermind. Never played it, but we'll see. Now there's a closet down here too. It's got a little, you can really smell the mothballs. They linger. There is a bar there so you can hang your clothes on. This thing comes with a gravity furnace, which is keeping the chill off. It doesn't use any electricity. The hot air comes out there. Cool air goes in the bottom. It's horribly inefficient. But I'm glad it's not using electricity because we're using that rickety jumper cable setup outside. I need to give stealth camping a little break in this area because even though I've turned down every interview request trying to stay stealthy, they still did this story. So I'm going to have to hit the road here in a little bit if I want to pull those stunts again. But for right now, just having a nice relaxing evening. And we're going to have some fun. Got a great meal planned tonight, and it is sure cozy in here. I picked a campsite close to the washrooms, right there. Not flush toilets, but that's okay. In the off season, this campsite's $13 a night. You heard me right. $13 a night. All in sight. This is only a 20-foot long motorhome, and that includes the extension on the back. But it still has a 3-burner stove with oven, refrigerator, of course, and it has a full bathroom with shower. And that always turns into storage, of course. And the top turns into storage as well because it's just little old me here. But this could sleep a family of 4 quite comfortably. Actually, not very comfortably, but it's only 20 feet long. It fits in a normal parking stall. I can take this through drive-thrus. Shelter's set up, and I can think of nothing better to do right now than whip up a quick Harvey wall banger. Gotta keep it light because it's a little early in the afternoon. Wish I had some ice. Cheers. Got the orange juice. All the little gems you find in a used camper. Little fly swatter. National Geographic. It's tons of storage. Oh, of course. Oh my.
100% of Purina's power comes from solar and wind investments. With Lean Cuisine, you could lose up to 18 pounds in 12 weeks. Flavorful, not calorie full.
There's a mattress pump in here as well. A good bit of storage. A bunch of coat hangers up here. Let's jack it off because it's getting a little warm. There's a black light. Won't be turning that on in here. Given the year of this, the high beam switch is beside the brake pedal by the hole in the floor. And there's a few other things that you don't see these days, which can be modified to work. Cigarette lighter. You take that out, put in a little phone charger, it slides right in. The cassette tape deck. I can use one of these adapters, plug that right into my phone. We got music. I know it works. All right, so if you didn't grow up in the 70s, or at least watch that 70s show, you probably unsubscribed by now. And I don't blame you, but I just wanted to have fun on this one. So we're having a fun little 70s camping trip. It is getting dark. It is getting chilly. I got some food. I'm staying cold out there in the snow. And I'll get a fire going in a little bit, but I'm just going to spend a little bit more time staying warm, hunkering down, and listening to music in my awesome little 70s motorhome. The first two additions I'm doing to this motorhome are a fire extinguisher and a smoke/carbon monoxide detector. Now, these combo units are all over the place now, and smoke rises, carbon monoxide's a little heavier than air, so that settles. And typically, I guess 2 would be better, but carbon monoxide is only slightly heavier than air. Air is 1.0, carbon monoxide is 1.06. So it's only slightly heavier than air, and any slight breeze is just going to move it all around through here. So I'm going to leave this right by the furnace, because that's what scares me the most in here. And not so high that it's going to catch the cooking over there. Don't just stick it on there somehow. There's already a screw hole here. Getting toasty in here. Just going to get the fondue started here because it's just an appetizer. I'm not doing a whole big production with it. Main meal is going to be a little tuna helper here. And the absolutely brilliant thing about tuna helper is you don't even have to brown beef. Just throw it all in. Just exactly what I like. I don't want to use the drain here because it is below freezing tonight. And I haven't tested out the water system in this thing, so it's storing my extra stuff that I can dump out. Of course, the recipe says to boil the water first before you dump it in. But I'm sweating like I'm at a disco here. So I'm going to throw it in at the 425 that it claims to want. And I'll start a timer for 30 minutes. Granny Smith apples, some acacia, and cherry tomatoes. Wonderful. Why did this ever go out of style? It's amazing. Wow, that fondue was good. So 20 minutes left on the hamburger helper, and I'm going to start a fire. Just use some of the fondue fuel because that should work pretty good. It is nice and cool out here. I can burn off the cardboard from the hamburger helper I can destroy this little piece of evidence. Well, you can smell that tuna. It's pretty liquidy. Thicken that up. Thing was desperately needing cheese anyhow. I'm going to stir in a little cheese, sprinkle some on top. Okay, that should thicken. Maybe. It's a little runny. That's all right. I just kind of eyeballed the ingredients. I discovered in the back of the drawer with the ashtrays is this company's coming casserole cookbook, which could have provided a lot more interesting things than tuna helper, but I'm trying to keep it as authentic and lazy as possible. So here we are. Let that congeal, and I'll get to go look at the fire for a bit. I have to keep switching between this jacket and my other one. It's either too hot or too cold. But wow. Pretty good night. It's a little cloudy. Expecting a little more snow, but it's good to be out here kind of camping. I know this isn't much of a camping trip, but it's so good to have a campfire, and it's so good to get away from reality for even a short break. The main course I'm excited about, solidified a little. I don't know why everything is so gelatinous, but I haven't enjoyed tuna helper since I was a child. So this is a throwback for me a little bit. And if I had to go back and do it all again, I would have explored one of the recipes in that cookbook over there. But fondue was the star of the show tonight. And we'll try to get this smell out of the motorhome tomorrow on the drive. But it's pungent, and I wouldn't do this in grizzly country or anything. Time to relax a little bit, enjoy some entertainment for the evening. Well, if you couldn't tell from the thumbnail and the title of the video, we're heading to an abandoned power plant. I'm not going to labor this hike out there because everybody's just going to skip forward till we get to the power plant. So let's. This is one of my favorite videos. This and the river trips. They were just great. There we go. For dessert, I got one of these Jello things with marshmallows in it. Mm. Mm. What a time to be alive. It is somewhat satisfying to sit and watch an old episode. You know, I kind of forget how fun it was when I was doing those videos. And it's nice to have that reminder. But I got to take another look at the fire. It is still pretty warm in here, so I want to cool down. Off to bed, guys. Gonna get that set up, and things will be all right. They don't make the asbestos sleeping bags anymore. Oops. But they don't make those asbestos sleeping bags, which were really good for fire resistance. But good luck finding them. Even Marketplace doesn't have any. But just a normal poly-filled flannel-sided one is going to be just what I need for the night. Got no problem here. Whew. And yeah, it's been a strange evening. Fun one for me. So it's been 3 videos that were a little bit. They were fun, but they weren't the warmest and the most comfortable. So I'm indulging myself on this one and just gonna hunker down for the night and get out of these shoes. Night, guys. Oh, good morning, my groovy friends. Got a little chilly. I had to rig this up to try and keep the heat in. And that little furnace, like I would say around freezing, around 0 Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit. It's pretty much the limit. I can't read the rating plate on it, but I'm guessing it's 10,000 BTU input, which means it might be 5,000 or 6,000 BTUs that it actually produces here. Well, now I really remember all the condensation goes on when you're camping in a motorhome. The little things I forgot about. Because like I got so used to that when I was living in the thing. It was just a part of daily normal life. And you can crack windows to get ventilation. They have those little moisture absorber things that can help as well. But you're never going to get completely rid of it. So getting the engine warm here to defrost this all out and dry out a bunch of this moisture in here. Okay, yeah, I'm all packed up. I forgot just how carefully you have to go over everything. Make sure nothing's going to fly off the counters when you start driving, particularly things like a lava lamp. You don't want a mess like that. So, yeah, it was just a basic, not really camping, just slept in a motorhome last night. But it was a fun trip for me, and I'm going to figure out how to stay warm on the next video because it's going to be cold like this for a few more weeks here, at least, sadly. And I'm really just too old for this cold. So I'm going to put my brain to it and figure out what to get done for the next one, where I can stay warm, stay comfortable, and hopefully the next one should resemble camping a little more than this. If you like this type of thing, please subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. I'm just going to get out of this old campground here. Cheers, everybody.
Zook's tasty, tender dog treats can turn every outing into an adventure. From park to peak, wherever you roam, don't forget the Zooks. Zook's dog treats. Choose your adventure. I'll show you the ropes, kid. Show you the ropes. Boom, baby. I'll show you the ropes. All the tires you need at prices you love. eBay. Things people love.
Welcome to Camping with Steve. Camping in a dump truck parked on the side of the road today, thanks to Fast Eddie, who was very cooperative when I mentioned camping in dump truck. Surprisingly, he didn't have an issue with that. So it looks like it's broken down on the side of the road. Getting dropped off here. I have my friend Scott drop me off and help me load some camp gear into the back of this. Let's go. Looks like we're just cleaning up garbage from the ditches. If I stand up, people can easily see me. So before I take my costume off, I'm going to set up the comm link so I can get the cameras rolling. And then I'll know if it's safe to pop my head up or not. But, you know, with the high-vis vest on, combs out, people are not going to stress too much if they see somebody walking around in the box of the truck. And I'm going to place the cameras up there as well. These cameras have little lights on them, so I got that covered with electrical tape. So it'll still be obviously a ring camera, but on a big truck like this, I don't think they'll notice. I've got 2 lithium iron phosphate batteries here. I don't need those for just the communication setup. I need those for a cooking appliance I brought with me. Well, good morning. That power inverter is on, and it's rated for 3,000 watts, so I don't think we're going to have an issue here. Just waiting for the system to boot up, and later I'll bond the 2 batteries together with this jumper cable. That'll give me the 200 amps I need. Okay, now I got a live view of what's going on outside, so I can take off this costume. Now this is a dump truck, so I don't know exactly what's spilled all there, but I have my suspicions. So I'm going to get the sleeping mat on the cleaner part. Prime example right there was a cyclist biking past, and I knew that I shouldn't be talking if somebody's biking or walking past like that. So I'm excited about this setup. Somebody has just pulled up behind. I've never used one of these smart home security systems before, but it has a nice feature where it will alert you if there's a person. So the cars don't set it off, but my phone goes off if there's a person walking or biking in front or behind the truck. So that's perfect. It cuts down on a lot of stress. If only it had a feature, bylaw officer behind you or in front of you. Being that this is a big steel bucket on the back of the truck, it could give off a little coldness at night. Guaranteed certified rated for minus 10 Celsius, 14 Fahrenheit. That means 0 Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit. Let's be honest. I hear a helicopter. That's the only thing that could catch me, and I doubt they're looking for people camping in the back of dump trucks. A little bit of a clear break in traffic here. Now, if I could stand up more comfortably, this would be my view. But I gotta lay low. I'm gonna be hunkered down here, staying low for the next hour or so, because there are fancy houses to the left, fancy houses to the right. Here I am on a Sunday night, and the sun's gonna set around an hour. Then in twilight, we can poke our head around for a little bit of adventure. the event of rain, I've got these magnets and a tarp here. I can cover these up quite easily, and these magnets will hold the other end down onto the floor. So I should stay nice and dry no matter what happens. Now that shelter is all set up, it's time for step 2. Now, anything involving vehicles is always a non-alcoholic step 2. Even though I don't have the keys to this, I just don't want to be drinking a beer in the back of a vehicle parked on a road. So, in honor of that, today's beer is one I found at the grocery store called What's the Point? Which basically sums up my channel and the way some people feel about alcohol-free beers. So, let's see what it tastes like. It's all right, you know? What's the point, though? But this one, big cheers. This is dedicated to Crazy Neighbor. Him and I were going to film this video, but we could never find anybody willing to let us use or rent a dump truck. And he has his license. Crazy Neighbor had his license to drive one of these. And when we explained what we were going to do, everybody got really scared and freaked out about it. So we were going to have it set up with a couple of cots and, have a good old camping trip. But I'm doing it for the both of us now. So also, big shout out to Fast Eddie for actually letting me do this in the back of his truck, because it's been a long search to try and find somebody that will let me do this in the back of the truck. So Fast Eddie, he's the guy to go to for all your dump truck camping needs, of which I know there is a high demand for. And also, I got his information from Pioneer Polly, who used this to, he got a whole dump truck load of sand, like Home Depot sand, and found out how much gold was in it. I won't spoil it for you, but there was gold in it. And he's even got his GoPro mount still on the back of the truck here. If I'd known that, it would have made my life a little bit easier. But that's what's going on there. Everything looks pretty calm on the cameras. So I'm just going to have this delicious What's the Point wheat ale. And wait for the sun to dip down on the horizon a little bit more. I think we're going to be having a good night tonight here, guys. It's hard to say. To me, that looks like a Chevy Silverado, like a white Chevy Silverado, but I'm just going to have to hunker down for a little bit here until that goes away. Speaking of the restroom situation, you've probably noticed there isn't one. But with the way it's all sloped, everything drains out the back. Kidding. There's a grocery store down the road that is open until 10. There's a Starbucks that opens at 5:30 in the morning. So I'm covered all but for those few hours in the night. So right before bed, I'm going to be sure to go. Now we got a second vehicle that pulled up in front of that last one. The time to hunker down is now. One is leaving, and the second one is leaving. So finally, after a long wait, all those vehicles behind me have drove away. So we got smooth sailing here. Wait for this car to pass. Okay, braking traffic for a little bit. Oh, here we go. I can see all these nice houses over there. See downtown right over there. In the distance is Mount Baker. They're building a bunch of stuff down there by the looks of it. And This is what's going on here. There's some lights along the walking trail, but there's no street lights shining down. So I'll have to use the flashlight tonight, but I think if I'm pointing it down and away from the road, we should be fine. I am getting too old to be cold. So, brought the little buddy heater with me. Should warm things up nicely. Just like so. This will keep the chill off. Okay, things are officially pretty dark here. Gonna need that flashlight right away. All right, now this is what camping's all about. I've got my heat going, I've got my security cameras on, and I'm just kind of relaxing here. I'm gonna start cooking food in about 20 minutes. That'll give me enough time to make it down, hopefully, to that restroom before it closes down the road. And the traffic is still a little bit busy, of course. It's a kind of a main road, and that should calm down a little bit here within the next hour or so. But I can hear some people walking by. All right. Catch you guys in a sec. It's getting a little more quiet. There's another vehicle that looks like it parked in front, and I have heard some people talking, so yay, being quiet and staying still. Okay, I've got the two batteries linked together, and that'll provide me extra power. It's already raised the voltage on the inverter. The pizza oven's going to take about 20 minutes to warm up. That'll get me time to prep the pizzas. Okay, the type of pizza I'm making tonight it's a pan pizza. I know the Neapolitan styles are really trendy right now, but that's beyond my skill level, and I like these ones just fine. So it's known kind of as a Regina style pizza. In Saskatchewan, they're very popular. And that's pretty much any pizza you're going to get. Pretty thick crust, loads of cheese, tons of toppings. Dump truck pizza coming up real quick. To add to the point of contention about pizza, don't worry, I'm leaving the pineapples off. The cheese goes on top, and there's a lot of it. It's all actually measured out. That is the amount that goes on a Regina style pizza. One at a time, and I'm doing 17 minutes because these are heavy. Like that's over a pound for sure. Okay, and that's what that looks like. There's the blender. The bottom of the crust looks like about like that. Well, I love throwing fresh tomatoes on. Because one, you can eat it faster, and two, it balances out the flavor really nice because there's an awful lot of cheese on these.
tomato sauce, basil, cheese. Forget about it.
Cheetos Cheese Pizza Puffs. Save your groceries for the love of food. Ziploc.
Introducing the all-new Passport Trail Spot, fully redesigned with available trail wash to help you conquer tough terrain. Our most capable Honda yet.
Introducing the brand new Titleist GT driver.
Oh, yeah.
That's gorgeous. Very solid.
Oh, so good.
It's been found like 15 yards from here. I gotta be honest, I can't believe how stable it feels.
Oh, yes. Bobby, yeah.
It's unreal.
I love that stuff.
Definitely going in my bag.
Right. Number 2. There she is. Now,